Asterisk total so far asterisk 600 words. Need exactly 200 words for segment 4. Segment 4, the disappearance and outro. Let's draft exactly 200 words. On the morning of November 9th, Julian packed his gear, kissed his mother goodbye, and drove his blue sedan toward the trailhead. He promised to be home by dinner. He never returned. The initial search. 187 words. Asterisk let's add details to make it exactly 200 words. Obscuring whatever appointments she had scheduled. No signs of a struggle were present, suggesting she knew her killer. 199 words. Let's adjust. Obscuring whatever crucial appointments she had scheduled. No signs of a physical struggle were present in the room, suggesting she intimately knew her killer. 205 words. The dust has long since settled over the scorched floorboards of the Miller estate, and the yellow police tape, once a stark boundary between order and chaos, has frayed into nothingness under the unrelenting sun. We are left, as we were in the beginning, standing in the silence of a house that refuses to speak. There are no definitive answers here, no neat packets of justice to hand over to a grieving public, and no final resolution to provide the closure that the families of the missing so desperately crave. What we are left with is a void, a cavernous, echoing absence that defies the logic of law enforcement and the persistence of investigators. We have sifted through the boxes of evidence, the grainy surveillance footage, and the conflicting testimonies of those who lived through the horror. We have mapped the timelines, cross-referenced the alibis, and scrutinized the shadows in every photograph. Yet, the truth remains obscured, hidden behind a veil of ambiguity that seems to tighten with every passing year. The prime suspects have drifted into the anonymity of time, their names whispered in hushed tones at local diners, but never etched onto a conviction. The leads that once promised a breakthrough have withered into dead ends, leaving a trail of frustration that stretches across decades. The case file, now thick with the dust of neglect, serves not as a bridge to understanding, but as a monument to our collective failure to protect the vulnerable. There is a particular kind of cruelty in an unresolved ending. It denies the victims their final dignity and leaves the survivors in a perpetual state of suspension, forever looking toward the horizon for a resolution that never arrives. We have learned that some wounds do not heal. They simply become part of the geography of the soul. For the community that once thrived in the shadow of these events, the tragedy is not just a memory. It is a living, breathing presence that dictates the rhythm of daily life. Doors are locked with an extra turn of the key. Children are watched with a vigilance that borders on the frantic, and the woods behind the town are still avoided when the light begins to fail. The fear has become hereditary, passed down from one generation to the next like a dark inheritance. And so, we return to the haunting questions that have circled this case since that first, fateful night. Who was the figure seen standing by the tree line at midnight? And why did they vanish before the headlights could catch their face? Was the motive rooted in the petty grievances of a neighbor, or was this the calculated strike of a predator whose reach extended far beyond our borders? Why did the dogs stop barking at exactly 3 a.m, and what did they see in the darkness that silenced them so completely? These are not mere inquiries. They are the ghosts that haunt the periphery of our vision. They are the questions that keep the insomniac awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if the person they see in the grocery store aisle knows more than they are willing to admit. Perhaps the most terrifying realization is that some secrets are not meant to be uncovered. Perhaps there are monsters who walk among us, shielded by the very systems designed to expose them, leaving behind nothing but the wreckage of lives they touched. We want to believe that the world is ordered, that actions have consequences, and that the scales of justice eventually balance. But this story is a grim reminder that the universe is indifferent to our need for clarity. The truth is not a prize to be won. It is a phantom, slipping through our fingers the moment we think we have secured it. As we close this chapter, we are forced to accept the unsettling reality that we may never know what truly transpired. We are left with the silence, the wind moving through the trees, and the lingering, cold certainty that someone, somewhere, holds the key to the mystery. They are out there, living a life built upon a foundation of blood and silence, watching as we struggle to make sense of the fragments they left behind. The documentary ends, but the story continues, playing out in the quiet corners of our minds, a persistent, rhythmic pulse of doubt. We walk away from the screen, yet we cannot walk away from the questions. They remain, etched into the bedrock of our conscience, waiting for an answer that may never come, haunting us with the simple, devastating possibility that some things are meant to remain forever in the dark.